It is time to make this truck individual, unique, and beautiful. I am so excited. Plus, I also need some tint on this window because that windshield is the biggest windshield that I've ever seen inside of my life. So today, I came up to Salt Lake City, Utah, to one of the premier places to get tint and to get a wrap on my vehicle. This is Lux Auto Spa, and this is the place where I did one of my first ever Tesla videos way back in like 2016 or 2017. I'm saying goodbye to this, and I'm going to give it into their hands, and we're gonna turn it a different color in this video. But also an important thing with this, we live in the desert, we live in the heat. It gets up to 120 degrees where we live. I need to get something on the windshield and also on these side mirrors right here. This car is very unique looking already, but we're about to personalize it. This is something I definitely recommend you do if you buy a Cybertruck. I'm just excited. Let's get this inside of the shop. Let me explain some of this process and then the unveil to see how this thing looks. The first step in wrapping and tinting a truck is to clean this thing. You gotta get rid of all the dirt, the grease, the imperfections off of the exterior of the vehicle. This truck is stainless steel, so hey, maybe we even need to get a little rust off of it. Good thing about Lux Auto Spa is they are professional detailers. So the big question, which color did we decide to do for the wrap of this vehicle? I have seen every single color imaginable, some really good, some maybe not so good. Even there are different types of camouflage. I wanted to keep it simple, but also wanted it kind of unique, and my town has a ton of matte black Cybertrucks. So I have decided to go with the glossy black color. So let's start with the wrap process. Why in the world would you even want to do paint protection? Some of the cars inside of here are insane. Like this one right here is a Lamborghini that can have a rack on it. It's got like front lights right here. This is probably like a 2000 Toyota Land Cruiser. This thing is old, but look how good the paint looks on it. And so why would you do paint protection? Well, if you're spending $80,000, $100,000, $200,000 on a vehicle, obviously you can change the color and make it look better, but it does protect the paint. Think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, when you take off that paint protection, you can get a vehicle that has this smooth paint on it. And so if you're somebody that really loves cars and wants to take care of cars, first of all, you should be able to sell it for more money if the paint and the body looks better. And so in a way, it's an investment on your vehicle. But then second, if you just want to keep your car for a long time and want it to look good, you get the paint protection and then your car can look amazing for like 20, 30 years. We ordered perfectly pre-cut black glossy paint Lumar paint protection film. Right now he is spraying pure alcohol on here. I can smell it. And it is totally sanitizing the stainless steel on here, trying to get every little piece of dirt off of here so that this, when it goes on, there won't be any bubbles, any imperfections in it. If you ever get a chance to see somebody put a wrap on a truck or a car, I recommend doing it. Yes, it takes a long amount of time, but if you have a professional, it is such a cool process to see. Here we go. It's going on. It's more adhesive, more liquid, and it's like you're squeegeeing it into place. So this bottle right here that you see him spraying, it's soap and water, and it gives him the ability to move this thing around and get it to where it needs to go. And then this one down here with the red on it, this is actually like an adhesive. And once it's ready to roll, he sprays that on, and that will help get it completely sticking to it. Lots of weapons going on, and you can see the bucket over there, the warm bucket's ready to roll. This is no joke over here. 130 degrees. Oh, that is toasty. This is all of the solution that they use to spray, the alcohol, the different cleaning solutions, and the water that they spray. And then when they wipe this thing down to prep it, it is ready to go on the vehicle and it adheres better to the Cybertruck. All right, the last big piece is going on the hood right here. It is already pre-cut, so it goes on there. It's really slippery right now. They put it on, make sure that's in the right spot. It's starting to look like something from Star Wars. Like, you know those guys that carry around the guns and got the black outfits on and they're marching? That's what it looks like. This is Lumar glossy black paint protection film. This is self-healing. So this stuff, if a rock hits it or a bug hits it, a lot of times it'll like seal back together. Kind of wild, right? This is all made and produced in America, which not a lot of paint protection film companies can say that. This is really high quality right here. We're planning on having this thing for maybe 3 years. That was kind of the goal with this. I did do a lease with it, but now that I'm getting the tint and the gloss on this, I sent a few pictures to Leslie and we're already thinking we might just buy out the lease at the end of it and just keep it because I love it. All right, here's one of my favorite parts of this. This car has really cool, unique edges, and you've got this piece of metal that goes all the way up, kind of curves, and comes down to here. At some point, once they're ready, they're gonna take off some of the protective cover and then come over here and perfectly place it on this. In some ways, the Cybertruck is easier to wrap than other vehicles because it does have all of these straight lines and really flat pieces in its stainless steel. But this Cybertruck creates some unique challenges. It has a lot of sharp edges. So all along here is a stainless steel that's actually very, very sharp. And so they've had to figure out the perfect amount to fold it over or to cut it. Sometimes if you pay more for people that are experts at wrapping a car, you have less bubbling, you have less issues with it long term, and you have good warranties on it in case anything ever did happen to go wrong, that they can go and fix it for you. So for me, the next step of the process is one of the most important. Tint. I have to have tint on the vehicles that I own. Did you know that in the US, melanoma skin cancers are more common on the left side of the face due to the sun coming into the window while you're driving a car? This Lumar tint that we're putting on the car protects me from almost all of the dangerous UV rays that can come inside of the car via the side window or out of the windshield or even the roof. If you get proper tint, it can keep over 90% of the heat out of your car, so you don't have such a hot vehicle and it doesn't take as long to cool it down. This is a giant light that you would use for a snake, for a lizard, for all the different types of reptiles that in the wintertime they don't get enough sunlight. Also, it has an important feature. This is like the sun, and so what we want to do is we want to test out, and I want to show you visually what the difference is between having tint on the windows and not having tint. This is a solar transmitter. We're indoors right now. We're gonna take this, put it up right here, take a look at the numbers. This is factory from Tesla. Look where we're at. 200, 280, 250, 300. Okay, so we're getting all the way up to 300 with this. Factory from Tesla when it comes out. Now this is really fancy name. Lumar Formula One Stratus. Stratus or Status?
Stratos.
Stratos. All right, we're far away from it. We got 2, 3, 4, 7. I'm gonna get, look at that. I'm right up against the glass. This is crazy. You can't see this on YouTube, but right here, no heat is coming through the glass. So the great thing about this too is that on our windshield, we have some tint that's on there. You can have tint that doesn't have any actual tint to it, meaning it's not dark, but it can still provide this type of infrared protection on it. But if we had a clear coat of this material on there, you still would be able to block that infrared transmission. So there you go, science.
Yes, science!
The process for putting on tint isn't as simple as just taking some stuff and slapping it on the car. First, you have to prep the surface of the glass, clean all of the dust off of it, and then you also need to clean all of the dust and imperfections off of the actual tint itself. But they have these rolling things right here that are basically see-through. You spray this on here, and then you can stick the tint or the PPF or the actual wrap on here. Some things you may not notice is that the floor has this rubber along it, and so the water goes down into it and it keeps all of the dust down. But then also they use HEPA filters that they change every single week to keep all of the dust and the dirt from even floating around inside of the air. So this shop is clean so you don't get little bubbles and little dust underneath your tint. We are putting tint. Even though this is already kind of like tinted, the rooftop is, we can put this protective layer on it so that it keeps a lot of the UV and a lot of the different rays that could be damaging, could potentially cause skin cancer out, and to keep the cabin even cooler. That's a ginormous sheet of tint right there. And he's trying to put it on there by himself and then has to make sure it's right, maybe have to cut a little bit and get all the bubbles out. Dude, you made that look easy.
Practice makes perfect.
But the thing that I'm really excited about is this giant windshield right here. Even if you don't really do tint, but you put the UV protecting on there, it really reduces the heat inside of your vehicle and also gets the sun rays off of your skin, which is also a nice thing too. Okay, so this is interesting. I've talked to people before with our old Model X and they would not do the windshield of our car, even though it was crazy hot inside of our white Model X. But they wouldn't do it because they're like, we have to take off the cameras and then put the tint under there. By placing this on the exterior of the windshield, he can cut perfectly around the cameras and then you don't have to deal with the cameras at all. You just go and stick it back in there and it works perfectly. We have transferred the windshield screen tint from there to here. Right there, there's the cutout. That's the cutout for the autopilot. This is the part. He's trying to get in there. He's putting in a towel that'll help protect it because he needs to spray the windshield. He doesn't want to get the dashboard with too much of the chemicals on it, even though they are cleaning chemicals. It's time to transfer this thing into the Cybertruck and then try to stick it on there. So much prep work has gone into this. They cleaned and rubbed all over the inside of this. And so now he's gonna roll it up very carefully, take it in there so that when he goes in, he can pull off the protective layer and then unroll it and it should fit perfectly and he's gotta push it in. How many guys does it take to put tint on a Cybertruck windshield? Right now, the answer is 3.
Oh, you're helping. You didn't know?
3.5. I'm about 0.2 helpful. The tint is entering the truck. Very carefully.
So we're gonna go, so remember, you just wanna let it flap. What we're gonna do is bring this down. So you wanna grab it now. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now you can let your side flap.
Look at it slowly inching its way down to the bottom. My goodness, this is way more difficult than I thought that it would be.
If it's not flapping, you're fine, because my side's good. Then you can let go now. Come lower, come lower, come low, 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 low. There you go. Yeah, it is. Just come up with it.
How are we feeling out of 10 so far?
So far, 11.
Yeah, there we go. Wow, good job, guys. So this is probably the 15th Tesla that they have wrapped and tinted here at Lux Auto Spa in the last year. And it started out with one person trying to do the tint on the windshield and it didn't go so well. So then they switched to 2 people and it worked, but it was a pain in the butt. So once they got to 3, you can tell by the instructions, they've figured it out. They know the process and it has a warranty, like a pretty dang good warranty with this type of tint on here. Look how good the car is looking right now. It's so clean that I can see the reflection of that Porsche. Look how clean this looks and how shiny it is. And so, oh, you just put some plastic on here. But there's actually some science behind this product that makes it good for cars because you're gonna be hitting bugs, you're gonna be hitting rocks and all kinds of stuff while you're driving down the road. What they told me is that this is self-healing. Cougar, what are you talking about self-healing? How does this,
This top coat, if you get light scratches, anything like that, it'll actually heal itself. So if you want to take a look at this, I mean, we can take this brush, right? I mean, you can, here, I mean, this is a, you know, a full-blown brass metal brush, right? So.
Why are you doing this? It's new. What? Oh.
And then any kind of heat source or anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you just put hot water on it.
Yeah, and then whether it's heat, sunlight, hot water, anything like that, any kind of heat source, we'll take it out, so.
Look at that. It is gone. It feels like one of those inventions, one of those moments when the people figured out that it does that. They just like cheered and high-fived and were so happy. People all the time take their trucks, even though they get like a wrap on it, they'll take it through the car wash that's like the automated self-service thing and it's got those brushes. But what happens is you have trucks that go through there or cars that go through there that have mud and dirt on them. And they're going through there every day, and it's not like they go in and clean off all the bristles and everything with those cloths. When you take your car through there, if you notice, you do that enough times, it's going to get a ton of scratches on it, like circular scratches or whatever. It ruins the paint, and it can also ruin some of the paint protection. The sun just came up over the snowy mountains. Let's check it out. Cougar, do you ever get tired of being so cool? Cougar's been running this business for like 10 years. 10 years? 15 years? 13 years. And the very first time that we met was, I think, in 2016, and we got red calipers painted on our Tesla, our brand new Tesla that we got. Since then, we got our white Model X that we brought here, and you wrapped it, and I think you did paint protection on it. We brought the gray Model X that we ended up, or the black Model X that we ended up selling to Zach and Cambry. He made it gray, did the tinted windows. So Cougar, when I first came here, you had like a little tiny shop in kind of a ghetto part of town. Then you built this massive one here that has incredible cars inside of it. What's next for Lux Automotive?
Here is April 5th. We're gonna be opening up a second shop in Park City, Utah. So really excited. There's not any of these kind of services up there. So it's been a long time in the making. It's at this incredible facility called Warehouse Park City. So yeah, excited for our next step in business and taking care of the Utah car community.
All right, Leslie, we have had this now for a few days. We have ridden in it. Thoughts on the Cybertruck wrap and tint? How do you like it?
I think the wrap makes it look so much nicer. The matte black is everywhere, I feel like. So the gloss is a little bit sleeker and sophisticated. So that's a win. You did a good job.
All right, now that we're inside of it, we have direct sunlight. It's 85 degrees today, even though we're wearing sweaters. Tint.
Well, normally if this was happening, I truly bring a hat in my car and I wear a hat inside my car because I hate the UV and I hate the sun in my face. So I love that this is completely tinted. I love the UV protection, and I definitely, when I get a new car, I want this on my car.
It's interesting because we showed you the heat thing. It doesn't feel that hot on the windshield, and this has been sitting out here for about an hour right now, and the sun is in the afternoon, it's shining directly down on it. Inside of the cabin, you can feel the difference, just how cool it is down here in southern Utah where we live. All right, we have 2 black cars now. This is my Model S that I've absolutely loved. I've driven it all across the country a couple of different times. But come over here and check this out. This hood is just littered with rocks and gravel that have hit this over the years. One time I was behind like this gravel truck, and it was within a few thousand miles of owning this, and it hit a bump on the highway and some of it went out, and I could just hear it go and hit it. And it also hit my windshield and made all these little chips inside of it, like little chips that are tiny. So we did put that protector on the exterior of our windshield that is nice. But this is one of the reasons why you get a ceramic coating or you get a paint protection, a PPF, because you avoid this. This is not dirt, this is not paint. These are actually individual little chips, big and small, all over this. There's no chips right there. It is completely smooth and nice, and it feels like metal. Like this feels like it's just the metal paint that's on the car, but in reality, this is just a nice protective cover over this car. Yes, this is a stainless steel vehicle, but I didn't do any type of wrap on that car or paint protection. So that's kind of the benefit of having a wrap, is that you can keep your paint looking good and not looking as bad as what my Model S looks like. So yes, I am super grateful for Lux Auto Spa. They did not pay me for this video, but they did give me a discount on the wrap to show you guys the Lumar product and how it works on here. I'm really excited about the tint. I'm really excited about the wrap. I'm happy with the glossy. I think it looks pretty good. It's shiny, it's a different look. It's kind of like a stormtrooper, or like Darth Vader, I should say. All right, what Cybertruck videos do you want us to do next? I have some fun ideas that I've been thinking about for the last 5 years since they announced the Cybertruck, if I ever owned one. I wanna test the stability, the durability of this thing. No, I'm not gonna shoot a gun at it. I've seen those videos done. I've got a few ideas of a few more interesting things that we might just do. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see ya.